Everybody, this is Paul Hitchcock, and I'm really excited to have Jim Timar here on today. Jim, can you hear me okay?
I hear you.
Fantastic. Well, Jim, you and I were talking offline. Jim is a tax professional, getting a lot of questions about the 199A deduction. And so, Jim, tell us about that. What's going on there?
So, commonly referred to as the pass-through deduction. This is a hot topic. Many of my clients and many small businesses out there operate under pass-through entities. So in a nutshell, there's a lot of intricacies around this and a lot of questions still, but generally speaking, if you own and operate your business under an LLC, an S Corp, or even as a sole proprietor, you may qualify for a 20% pass-through deduction. So generally what that means is, let's say you've got an S Corp and you've got a little family business, and you have $100,000 of profit that gets reported on your S Corp return. You get a K-1, all the income passes through your personal return. Now, instead of paying tax on $100,000 of income, you may receive a $20,000 deduction, so you're effectively only paying tax on 80 grand when you made 100. So it could be a pretty good deduction.
Yeah, sounds really awesome. And how do you determine if you qualify for this? Is there some sort of assessment process you go through? What goes on there?
Yeah, so generally speaking, it's got to be active and ordinary income, so earned income. It can't be, oftentimes people will hold their real estate investments like rental properties and things like that in LLCs.
Right.
Typically, unless you're a real estate professional, rental income does not qualify for this pass-through deduction because it has to be active and ordinary income. So okay. A lot of people, they have rental income from rental properties, but they're not necessarily actively involved or may not meet the real estate professional requirements. So this is typically more along the lines of, if you've got let's say you've got a mechanic shop and you work on cars and that's your business and you're operating under an LLC or an S Corp or even a sole proprietor, you're actively earning that income, so that counts. Now, in addition to that active and ordinary income requirement, there is also some income requirements. So if your income exceeds a certain threshold, then you start to get potentially phased out from receiving that full 20% deduction. And then if your income reaches another threshold, you may not qualify for it at all. And this is based off of the type of industry your business is in. So for example, accountants and attorneys, if we exceed that certain threshold, we don't qualify for it because we are, we're like consultants. We're not selling widgets or, right. doing things like that. So it also depends on the industry you're in.
So if I'm a client of yours, own a business, what are you going to do to figure it out for me? Are you going to, do you look at my tax returns? We have a discussion about it? What's the process?
Yeah, so this is where it's really important to have a discussion with your tax preparer. So, they've got to get to know your business, what you do and how you do it. And in addition to that, we've got to know your full situation. So because this is for pass-through, we're going to be focusing a lot on your personal return, seeing if you're getting close to or, exceeding those income thresholds where you may or may not receive that 20% deduction, in addition to knowing what type of business you have and what type of services you're offering.
Got it. And last question is, when is a good time to look at this? I mean, it's January now. Tax deadline seems around the corner. Is now the time to be kind of looking at this, or is that
now is a great time? Yeah, before we start really cranking during tax season, it's a good time to squeeze in, have a chat for, especially if you don't know your tax preparer very well. If maybe you just kind of once a year send in your stuff, or you're new to your tax professional. Now's a really good time for you guys to get to know each other. Let the tax preparer get to know you, your income situation, your business, and for you to get to know your tax preparer and make sure that they you feel comfortable with their knowledge surrounding this new deduction, because this is new. It's part of the new tax laws. So, yeah.
All right, Jim, as always, great information. The 199A, now is the time to get input on it. As always, thanks, Jim.
No, thank you, Paul.
All right, we'll see you next time.
See ya.